Start with the Irish Independent, and it is this story once again. Jones sorry for a scummy Irish slur. England head coach apologises after footage of his controversial comments goes viral. It's the same story on the back of the Times Ireland edition. Jones sorry over a scummy Ireland video. England coach also launched attack on Welsh. I am so sorry, reads the back of the Irish Daily Mail. England coach Jones forced to grovel after scummy Irish insult. It's rugby as well on the Irish Times. They don't give the Jones comments as much prominence. They go with Jacob Stockdale in the main picture. The headline regarding Jones is Jones apologises for calling Ireland scummy. Meanwhile, on the Racing Post, which is Cheltenham, of course. Two nations, one passion. Undersow versus Q-Card. That's in the Ryanair today. And Super Sunday versus Sam Spinner. On the back then, you've got Arsenal aiming higher. Gunners can finish Italian job to seal a spot in the last 8. It's Arsenal versus AC Milan. It kicks off at 8:05 this evening.
Heartbreaking pictures of Ruby Walsh being helped off the track by his dad Ted yesterday in most of the newspapers today. The back pages though, Messi goes nuts. That's because there were 2 nutmegs from Leo Messi in the 3-0 win for Barcelona against Chelsea last night. We'll talk to Graham Hunter in Barcelona a little bit later on about that. They obviously also have the Eddie Jones story on the back there. The Examiner didn't think the Eddie Jones story is worthy of a front page cover. I tend to agree with them. Different class, Messi unstoppable as Barcelona crushed Chelsea. Also Tommy Martin saying that Jimmy Carr too valuable to sack. No Messying about is the headline on the back of the Herald today, but they do have the picture of Ruby Walsh being crushed by his mount yesterday and the grimace just as he realises exactly what's happening. Willie Mullins said that he thinks the hairline fracture on the old fracture as opposed to a re-break, a full re-break. So that's good news. And there was some talk of Punchestown as opposed to Galway being a potential return for Ruby, which is great because when stuff like this happens, it's inevitable that somebody of Ruby's age, people think, are we going to see him again? Out for the Conte, Barcelona 3, Chelsea 0. I'd say there was one other interesting story. PSG on alert for Mourinho as Jose faces Old Trafford cash battle was one of the smaller headlines on the back of the Mirror. Slack and blue is the Mourinho fierce slackers. Pogba and Sanchez are killing his Man United side. Well, sell them then, Jose. Sell them and get your money back. Although it's not like you didn't know exactly who they were when you were buying them. Caught out, but if you say it in a British accent, caught out. Thibaut Courtois.
Because everybody reads this one in the UK who speaks like that.
Yeah. Photo finish rocks Ruby. Yeah, but he's not finished. Scummy Irish. Eddie says sorry after video jibes. Video jibes. Makes it sound a bit more interesting than it actually is. And then The Guardian, masterful Messi, Argentinian scores 2 as Barca dump Chelsea out of Europe. And it's the same picture from most of the newspapers. Magic Messi, the Daily Telegraph. They also have a Cheltenham special with Ruby Walsh's agony. And Jones, I'm sorry, England coach apologises for Ireland and Wales insults. It's a pity we didn't get this out before the Wales game.
Yeah, it would have been great.
Yeah.
Does any part of you think that he's right about Wales? Maybe Wales is a shit country?
I mean,
it's only got 3 million people. What a shit country.
We've all said things about Wales and like other places. I mean,
I've never been to Wales for longer than, you know, a
24
day.
hours cycle.
Yeah. And I haven't seen a whole pile of things to suggest that it couldn't be deemed as shit by some corners. So I don't think it's the most outrageous thing anybody's ever said.
Eddie Jones is a langer, says Richard Kelly, rather succinctly. Good man, Richard. I think most people can get behind that. And this is just further evidence that he's a langer for those of us who were always actually of the opinion that he'd been a langer from the get-go.
Exactly. That's my point. Stop getting worked up about this specific thing. This is just indicative of who he is. It's not this big explosive thing.
Paddy Jones says, I think the scummy thing is being blown way out of proportion, just like saying the bloody English. And Jones was butthurt over the loss to us. If he meant it, I'm sure it was directed to the team rather than the entire nation. I think your man on stage is Irish. And it's like, yeah, you scumbags.
Like you know. And he's clearly laughing. Nobody else in the crowd is laughing, so it's obviously...
Also, Shea was allowed back into Dublin when, even after calling some of the Dublin players scumbags. There's a bit of the scumbag in them.
Yeah, that was kind of more of a...
He meant scamp, but scumbag is what he really meant.
At least he clarified and said, I meant scamp. He
clarified it, but then he did kind of use the scumbag word again a little bit later on.
Like Jones hasn't come out and said, oh, I meant rascals.